End of the year boring stuff. So we'll pull it out in the field here and we'll knock off some of the piles of, things the corn and beans get on the feeder house and stuff like that. I'll open up the bottom of the bin and we can let that run out on the ground. It always seems like a waste of beans every time you do that, but the bin can only get so empty with that design. So that's just the way it is. So, but I figure if we get it out here in the field where the animals hopefully won't bring it back in and live in. It's a tough deal. We can't leave the machine parked here. It's got to be parked at the shop where the cats are. Because when it rains, that stuff will just swell up and go rotten. Now when it rains, the water should run out, and I'll turn the unload on, and any little bit of residual will also fall out all over the ground. Then we drive it far, far away from this rat mouse feed source, because there's still plenty. I guess it's time to start fixing some oil leaks before the thing catches on fire. So you pop the tailings, come around back, we'll pop the grain, clean the grain. And there's always this stuff. The less that's on there, the less you can feed the rats and the mice. And that's because once they get fat and happy on the soybean and corn, then they start chewing on wires up in the cab. So what we do here, I took that plate off the bottom. Then you get the poke up in here. And you can see that's corn from the other day. Now the beans are coming out. It seems like an enormous waste of beans, but now you can see daylight through there. And that's just the bottom of the bin. This is the bottom of the unload auger. It goes vertical up, and that's it. You're always going to have beans in there. So I'm sure there's rotten stuff stuck behind this one too that should come out. Because when it rains, that stuff will just swell up and go rotten. Now when it rains, the water should run out, and I'll turn the unload on, and any little bit of residual will also fall out all over the ground. Then we drive it far, far away from this rat mouse feed source, because there's still plenty. I guess it's time to start fixing some oil leaks before the thing catches on fire. So now I'll turn the unload auger on, and it'll shake the bottom, what's left in the bottom, it'll come out. It's not shaking anything, I don't know why I'm saying that. The auger will spin, any leftover beans will come out, and will lay on the ground out there and not feed the rats and mice. I'll turn the machine on, and clean grain is open on the bottom, so nothing will lay in that. And the tailings is open, so anything in the machine will get kicked out that. So hopefully, the idea with all this is to not feed the rats and the mice. So, because there's you can do every bit of this you want. There's always going to be stuff left in the machine for the rats and mice. And nothing makes me smile more than when you see a cat coming out with a mouse in its mouth, because, well, that's just awesome, because rats and mice are just... This year we had a mouse build a nest on the 9610 behind this computer box, and it just chewed the wires all up. So then you gotta call the used combine jockey guy, get it, tear the cab all apart, and that's what he did. The boring part of farming, all the fun, run the big equipment in the fields and, you know, cut 100 acres a day, blah blah blah. That's the stuff that everyone YouTubes and shows you. Now, and there's a few guys that'll show you the monotony, mundane stuff, but who's watching that? Nobody wants to watch it. So the views on those videos would be nothing, because nobody wants to watch it. They just want to watch the big equipment ripping through the field. That's why that guy there with his big tractor power or whatever, he just goes to all the big farms and shows all the big equipment, because that's what everyone wants to see. So, big farms, big equipment. It's getting warm in here. It's a beautiful sunny day again. It's supposed to be like near 70 again. So the guys that still have corn out and soybeans out, they're having a beautiful Indian summer, because we've had snow and a frost. So this has got to be an Indian summer. I don't see how it can't be. Pretty sure once you get weather like this after a hard frost, it's considered an Indian summer. So I look like I'm in the dark no matter how I hold it, so we'll get this thing parked over to the shop where the cats are, and when he gets his pressure washer fixed, we can spend one long miserable day pressure washing it. It's getting warm in here. It's a beautiful sunny day again. It's supposed to be like near 70 again. So the guys that still have corn out and soybeans out, they're having a beautiful Indian summer, because we've had snow and a frost. So this has got to be an Indian summer. I don't see how it can't be. Pretty sure once you get weather like this after a hard frost, it's considered an Indian summer. So I look like I'm in the dark no matter how I hold it, so unfortunately we do not have indoor storage. So there they set. And that's most likely where they'll set for the next 9 months.
Well, as you can see, it's way too nice of a day to be working on the inside project. So we're going to go back to the spray roller here. And I had some hydraulic spool valves that were hanging up on me. So I had to make this nifty extension. We need to make this longer. We need a deep well. We're going to make this and add it onto that. So that way we can tighten those spool valves up on that spray rig. So I'm going to cut that sucker off here, put this in the middle of it, and go get them spool valves out. And you'll see in a second exactly what it's for. this bank of valve bodies right here. And you can't get on that thing. That is the valve that went bad. I don't know if you can see that. There. So, and that'll tighten up just like that. We put a ratchet on that bad boy, and we'll be in good shape. And that, otherwise you can't get on it. That's just so tight you can't get wrenches or nothing on any of it. So, we'll get her tightened up and see if it's going to do what it's supposed to. Because that boom right there wouldn't swing out. So let's get her tightened up and check it out. Alright, well, we're in. It was pretty chilly last night, so let's see if this thing fires up. Oh yeah, fired right up. That's our low air pressure. It builds air up for the air operates the valves that turn the booms on out there. So there's a air compressor on the engine, and it builds air up. And once it builds up, that's what turns the valves on and off. Well, see if we got it hooked up. Just that. There it goes. We did something right. Wow. First try. Can't hardly believe it. Well, we'll get sucker topped off with water and some herbicide, and we'll go do some fall burn down and some wheat. There's a picture of the wheat right out there that needs to get a nice application of herbicide on it, keep the weeds from coming. Alrighty, we'll get her topped off. Go for a ride. Alright, well, here goes nothing. Got a little spray in here. Fall application of some herbicide. This is going to be a little tricky because I don't have hold on with the camera and spray at the same time, so it'll probably be a little bit of a short clip. But alright, these are my boom switches, which I rarely shut off, but that's why it wasn't going. So here we go. The computer will turn them on for me. Light green is where we've been in the field. Booms are on. So we'll get some application done. Well, I'm going to have to get two hands on the job. There's the wheat. Looks really nice. So hopefully it winters well and we get a good crop next year. So I gotta get some things on the ground, so that'll be the end of this clip. Well, there we are. We're finished. 26.67 acres on that lot. We'll get to the next one. Cool.